The Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge is a program of an alliance called CFEEA, and that stands for the Central Florida Energy Efficiency Alliance. CFEEA is the result of local shareholders that are involved in professional and trade organizations, local governments, local utilities, academia. These are the members that all came to sit down at the table and talk about how we responsibly reduce energy usage. The Kilowatt Crackdown is the first program that CFEEA came out of the gate with, and it's really designed at helping building owners and property managers and facility managers to identify what their usage is, and then let's come up with some solutions about how we can reduce your consumption. One of the things that the Kilowatt Crackdown does is it utilizes Energy Star's Portfolio Manager program, which is an online program. Some people may be familiar with it, but we're finding a lot of people have never used this tool. What it allows you to do is benchmark 12 months of usage, and then if you want to go for a rating, you can absolutely do that. But the best part about it is really just getting that information so then you can figure out what your starting point is. What we're doing as part of the Kilowatt Crackdown program that's very exciting is we have the ability to offer free services, and those come in many different ways, one of which are our energy specialists. These are actually hands-on, real people that will not only come to your business and take you by the hand and walk you through how to input your data in Energy Star Portfolio Manager, but also if you have a question a week later, if you've noticed something 6 months into the process, you can call them up and have a real person talk to you about what it is you're seeing and maybe talk about options to help you improve. Resources are incredibly slim right now, and so what's exciting about what we're able to offer through CFEEA and as part of the Kilowatt Crackdown program are free hands-on technical support. This is part of a grant stimulus dollars that we're receiving. It's coming through the state's DOE. So for a lot of people, this might be the first time they're actually seeing their stimulus dollars at work, and they're able to actually tap into it and use it as needed. What these grant funds have allowed us to do is provide free training that otherwise companies would not be financially able to afford. We found that a lot of companies want to take sustainable measures, they want to look at how to reduce their energy consumption, but they either don't have the in-house expertise to do it, or they can't afford to go to an outside consultant. We are able to offer this as a free service at a level of quality that's equivalent to if you were going to pay for it. Portfolio Manager really takes you step by step. If you have your monthly energy bills from years past, that's great because then you can go back a few years. If you are starting fresh, you can start literally today and start benchmarking out. The types of questions that Energy Star Portfolio Manager asks are things that any of your facility managers should be able to answer. How many computers are in your building? How many people work in your building? It may require a little bit of gathering information from different sources, but every piece of information you should be able to find within the people that work. The benefit of having a benchmark is a lot of times what we've found with people that have signed up for the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge is, one, we have people who weren't even looking at their monthly utility bills. So for a lot of businesses, this might be the first time they're understanding how to read their utility bills, what the difference is between the fuel charge, their peak hours, their non-peak hours. That alone is a learning curve that a lot of businesses haven't taken yet. Once they understand how to read that, the advantage of being in the Energy Star Portfolio Manager is the ability to rate yourself and potentially become certified. We don't require that anyone that takes the challenge becomes certified. What we really want is for you to be aware of what's happening in your building and if your building is operating at the level you expected it to be. One of the things that we look to do in the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge, again, it's a program that's offered only to Central Florida businesses. One of the things that we really want to do is create this atmosphere of friendly competition. And we want to recognize those businesses that may not be able to receive an Energy Star rating, but have still really taken some huge strides to make energy reduction improvements over the span of the year. So one of the things we're going to do is have the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge Awards, and those will be awards from everyone that registers online at our website. The Kilowatt Crackdown Awards really will be a hodgepodge of a lot of different efforts. We'll have some businesses who had already started maybe some capital improvements, and we'd like to recognize them for taking that initiative. On the other hand, we may have businesses who, after they've gone into Energy Star Portfolio Manager, have realized that really it is employee habits that was really costing them some extra dollars, and so therefore have developed an awareness program amongst their employees. We want to recognize that program too, because both of those have significant impact on energy reduction. CFEEA is an alliance of community shareholders, and by that, that strictly looks at organizations such as our professional and trade organizations, BOMA, the USGBC, NAIOP, IFMA. We also have local governments, the City of Orlando and the City of Maitland, for example. We have academia, UCF and Rollins College. We also have our local utilities, Progress and OUC, Orange County Utilities. These are all members and people that sit down at the CFEEA table. And really the goal is to come together and brainstorm and be able to do the outreach, because we reach a lot of people through those organizations, and talk about how can we come up with a common goal and a common program that reduces our energy. We've been very surprised at the amount of requests that we're getting from property management companies, some of our large property management companies that that own or operate up to 1 million+ square feet within Central Florida. One good example is Flagler Development, who have taken the challenge, and we've been so impressed by their commitment with what they're willing to do within the challenge and with Energy Star Portfolio Manager that we're actually highlighting them as one of our challenge takers. We're running ads with them featured through that, so free publicity for Flagler Development, but it's also to let the community know that our leaders are really stepping up to the bat and taking this, and as long as they're willing to do that, we're willing to spend our marketing dollars to promote them. We're actually seeing that the topic of operating costs is really important. It's really at the top of the list for a lot of businesses right now who are trying to find ways to really turn their costs down. This is a really obvious big ticket item for a lot of these businesses. It's allowing them not only to keep their doors open a little bit longer by saving those operational dollars, it's also allowing them to keep employees on that otherwise they might not be able to keep. One of the things, and although we look at property managers and facility managers, we're actually seeing a big surge from individual business owners who own their own buildings. Again, that's a group who hadn't given a lot of consideration to their energy use on a monthly basis, and now they have a tool to do that. Really what we're trying to do is get the word out also that there are incentive programs, there are rebates that are out there. They may not be as well advertised, or they may not be right in front of you in your everyday site, but combined with the resource that we have to offer through the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge, that can be a huge benefit to businesses who really aren't sure where to start. I'm amazed at how progressive this particular program is. Although it's very simplistic in its design and actually how it operates, one of the questions that I get quite frequently from people who have signed up to take the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge is, I have buildings throughout the country, can I do this in other parts of the country? And what we've found through colleagues throughout the country is that we have one of the very first programs that exists this way. So we really are pioneering here in Central Florida with this program. Well, the grant that's coming through that's funding both CFEEA and the projects that we do, such as the Kilowatt Crackdown Challenge, is part of an Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant, which is part of those stimulus dollars that we've all heard so much about. Within that goes through the Department of Energy on the state level. And so we work very closely with DOE. The fact that we chose to use Energy Star Portfolio Manager leads to the fact that we're working very closely with the EPA as well, because that is their program.